Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking Love and Marriage Detroit. We've got a late night edition special extravaganza for you because the ratings are in and it's abysmal, you guys. It's worse than I thought it was going to be. The ratings dropped almost 100,000 views, you guys. It dropped 80,000 views from last week's episode. Can you make it make sense? Let's talk about it. So, episode 1, I believe, had 187,000 viewers. Then episode 2 went up 2,000 views that we gagged, that it was 189,000. And I told you guys that it was not going to be able to sustain this because Love and Marriage Huntsville was no longer on the air. And I was proven right. The ratings dropped down 42%, people. The ratings are barely 100,000, 109,000. How do you go 1 week from 189,000, almost at 200,000 viewers, down to 109,000, tinkering under 100,000 viewers? And this is supposed to be the second season. This is supposed to be the best season, according to Carlos King, having that big extravaganza premiere party that Destiny and Letitia went to. And all of the things. This was supposed to be the breakout season for Love and Marriage to Detroit to, for all intents and purposes, surpass Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's what Carlos King was hoping. All that promotion, all of the non-promotion of Love and Marriage Huntsville, and still nobody cared. And no. You can't even blame football. Because the most important game that came one Saturday night, Colorado, wasn't until well after midnight when it got interesting, when the game went into overtime. So you can't even blame Deion Sanders this week for the abysmal ratings, right? But nonetheless, here's what we are going to blame. Here's what's going to happen, because Carlos King showed his slip again last week and was very cocky in these podcast interviews where he is again taking ownership for everything Love and Marriage Huntsville, gives no credit to Mel, insults the fans, insults the intelligence of the fans, plays dumb when he is questioned about Messy Monday basically being a design for him to further gaslight the audience, going from live shows to pre-tape shows, framing a certain narrative to bash certain cast members and have Dr. Heavenly be his mouthpiece to do it so that he doesn't get dragged, but his facial expressions say otherwise. And it's basically a shrine to Martell. And I don't understand why nobody else in the cast doesn't put 2 and 2 together. And all of this focus for the show, hyping up the new couple that apparently Letitia recommended, or Letitia is good friends with, or whomever, and even that can't save the show. Then we have the articles that come out, right? We have the one article where Carlos King is basically having the Huffington Post gaslight the audience further and tell all of these lies and misinformation about the Sonny, Moses, and Destiny storyline, you guys, and just leaving out chunks of information, chunks of important timelines, and all these things, completely erasing LeBaric as if LeBaric never existed in Destiny's life, and Moses was the love of her life for the last 20 years, and Sonny just came in and blew everything up, you guys. It was a complete and utter embarrassment, and the audacity to think that that is going to entice viewers to tune in to the show. No. And then the nail in the coffin, you guys, which was basically another stray, because Love and Marriage Huntsville isn't even on the air right now. It's supposedly supposed to come back in November, but who knows? Nonetheless, the ultimate stray is by Crystal Jordan, Crystal XOXO on social media, who basically said, "Is this the end? Is this the end of Love and Marriage Huntsville? You've broken the fourth wall. You've allowed social media to overtake this show, and it's gotten too much to the point the fans are sick of it. The fans are tuning out. The fans are over it." And Carlos King thinks any mess is good mess. Well, how good is the mess, Carlos, if nobody's watching? If nobody is tuning in, Carlos? See, you thought that you could convince the people that you could run all of these other shows and that they were going to move and shake without Mel. And that you were going to focus on the show that Mel is on by having everyone turn on her, by everybody coming for her fan base, by everybody coming for her whole existence, by having cast members and having other people now come for her entire family and attack their appearance, attack their looks, attack things that have nothing to do with the issue at hand. And you thought that all of that hate train and that negativity and all of these things was going to, empower the people to move forward without Mel on the show. Well, this is an example, Carlos King, of when you do clownery and the clownery comes back to bite. This is what happens, Carlos King, when you F around and you find out. This is what happens, Carlos King, when you play in everybody's face. You always use Mel when you need the ratings, when you need the money, when you need those ticket sales to promote whatever you've got going on, to whatever is going to make you look good. Then all of a sudden, everybody's a melodrop. No. Right? And you do all that once you collect the money, once you collect the check, and then you see you see how the fans show up and show out for the real cast members of the show, for the people who have real storylines on the show, and you can't handle it because it's not your faves. And you can't handle it because nobody is under your spell anymore, Carlos. So you think leading the hate train and leading a hate campaign is going to resolve the issues. And then you get defensive when it's called out. But you do not stop the train wreck at all with how you gear these interviews, with how you gear these Messy Monday episodes. You continue to poke the bear. And then have the audacity to say, well, if somebody has a problem with me, they got my number, they can call me. Really, Carlos? So you can backtrack like you did at the podcast when Mel confronted you directly and asked if you knew directly all of the turmoil Martell was putting her through behind the scenes and thought that you just knew anyways and you just wanted good TV just like before when the show was greenlit and Mel told you she didn't want to film the show. She wanted to take a break to work on her marriage because she found out her husband was cheating. And you told her no. You told her, allegedly, that she should move forward. This should be important for her to tell her story and show all of the humiliation and the pain that she is dealing with, and that was going to resonate with the people, not allowing her to make her own decision for herself if she should have taken that time to really evaluate if she wanted to do this and put this out there for the masses. But all you cared about, Carlos King, was dollars and clicks and views. You didn't care about the destruction of another black family. You didn't care about, once again, another black man being out here acting completely reckless and unhinged and gaslighting and disrespecting his wife on national television. And this show was supposed to be about black excellence and black entrepreneurs. You didn't care as long as the ratings were up. But once the fans fought back and said, you know what, we're going to black out. We're not going to tune into this tomfoolery anymore. Wrap it up. Now all of a sudden you want to get tight and you want to try to change the narrative and you want to try to gaslight the people and insult the intelligence of the audience. And the audience said, no. It is not going to work. So as a result, the domino effect, Carlos, is nobody's going to tune in to any of your shows, to any of your productions, because they see the writing on the wall. And shout out to Winner from Love and Marriage DC, who exposed the toxic work environment, the terrible pay that these people are receiving, and the disturbing unprofessionalism of the team encouraging the ratchetness on a show that's supposed to be about black professionals. You haven't navigated, Carlos, all those years of experience at Bravo. You can brag about till you're blue in the face. But the one thing that you have not managed, Carlos, is how to right the ship when things go awry. Instead, you lean into the mess, you insert yourself into the mess, and you play favorites with the mess, and you think there's not going to be consequences. And you have the audacity to say that you get dragged worse than Andy Cohen? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Andy Cohen, who at every turn, anytime there is something wrong at Real Housewives of Atlanta or Real Housewives of Potomac, he is getting dragged up and down. Are you kidding me, Carlos? No. It has gotten so bad that they had to push back the filming of Real Housewives of Atlanta. They had to revamp the casting of Real Housewives of Atlanta. It has gotten so bad at Real Housewives of Potomac that they had to revamp the casting of Real Housewives of Potomac and finally get rid of Robin. And depending on who you talk to, whether Candace quit or Candace got fired, basically both are gone. So there's not going to be this gang up anymore on the show. And Giselle's going to have to force to be interactive with everybody. But you won't do that on your own show. You think that it is great to have somebody like Martell continue to humiliate and traumatize his ex-wife for ratings and use his ex-wife as a storyline, even if he's not even filming with her. And you want to have the cast take it out on Mel and make Mel the issue. And Mel set up Martell. Mel had Martell arrested. Mel is ruining the show because she can't get along with her ex-husband, as if her ex-husband isn't doing all this foolishness. There was an opportunity for them to work it out when she gave him another chance. That was his last chance to get it right, and he flopped. Then there was a chance to co-parent and get it correct and get it right on the family Florida trip. And Carlos, you guys all got it wrong again because Martell was still being messy. And his mistress was still being messy. So Mel said, forget it. I am done. I am over it. And Martell had the audacity to think that he should file for full custody. And that he should get access to proceeds of Sugar Mama's line. And all of these things. And continuing to, leak all these things to the bloggers, trying to make himself sound more important than he is. You give him chance after chance, and he keeps flopping. And you have nobody to blame but yourself, but the proof is in the pudding, Carlos. And the proof in the pudding is the people are not tuning into the BS anymore. The people are not tuning into the shenanigans anymore. The people are tired. So if this isn't your wake-up call, Carlos, I don't know what will be. But the fans have spoken, and the fans said, I don't care whether or not this is a good show or not. I don't care whether or not this season is better than the last season of Love and Marriage Detroit. I don't care how well liked the new cast members on the show are this season. I don't care about the regurgitated, separated, maybe getting divorced, but is still showing up together at the premiere party storylines. A whole redux of what we saw with previous couples on your other shows. We're not tuning in. So if you don't get it now, Carlos, when will you get it? When all the shows are canceled? Because that's where things are headed. Cancellation, Carlos. And even if Love and Marriage Huntsville does happen to come back in November for the last 15 set of episodes, is that the end? Is that the end of all of Love and Marriage Huntsville as we know it? Because it's unacceptable, Carlos. You said you gaslight, like I said, you said you're going to focus on your own, you're not going to focus on your shows, you're going to do what you want to do. Then when the ratings are in the toilet, you decide to now focus on your shows to promote them. But then you want to, like I said, you want to insult the people that put the money in your pockets. And you think there's not going to be consequences. You don't think nobody is going to clock the tea. And this is the result, Carlos. Nearly 100,000 people tuned out in a week, you guys. That is incredible. And that is a testament to let you know, Carlos King, who calls the shots here. Who is really running things here, Carlos? So nonetheless, you can keep insulting people, you can keep dragging people, you can keep being messy, Even though you claim that you're not messy, you claim that you've got, your coins and your reputation and stuff to protect. But nonetheless, there is an energy that you're giving off that says otherwise, and the people are clocking it. And as a result of that, they are putting out the alerts and the mass messages to tune out of all of your shows and see what happens if you continue to play the people like this. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.